There is an empty boat on the shore, and the sky predicts a storm. Someone has left a boat by the sea which is looking furious at the moment. The boat, however, is standing still amidst everything that is moving at such a fast pace. It is such a peaceful sight to someone seeing this from a distance. The blue boat standing against the grey sky. The boat is stuck to an anchor so that when at high tide the sea breaks its usual boundaries and spreads itself more, it does not steal the boat away. The anchor does not seem very trustworthy, but the boat is not worried about that. The boat is busy wondering if it will ever be able to bear the harsh winds and powerful waves. It fears that it would break because it's an old boat. Old not by years, but from the vacuum it carries within. Low tides change into high tides, the sky changes, millions of clouds pass by the boat every day. Their lives look so happening to the boat, unlike for its very own days, which were always the same, one like the other. Had it not been for the changing daylight and changing seasons, it would never know about the existence of time. It anyway did not matter to the boat. If one is immortal at old age, one is old forever. It never gets younger, except when it falls in love. That is the thing about love. Sometimes when one is so tired of waiting for it that they stop hoping that it would come at all, that is when it comes, or so the boat hopes. Of course it has never been in love. How can it? It's not immortal, it does not have a heart, it does not have a sex, only a vacuum where there is nothing, where even dust refuses to settle. So it stands in one place hoping to fall in love. It wonders how love would look, what shape would it be, and what color and what thing. With nothing much to do, the heart would wander and would often feel like a peacock anticipating rains. But the boat felt it was stupid to compare itself to a peacock. The peacock could speak, express itself, dance in joy, cry in separation. Unlike the boat, who could only love and nothing else. It was really a curse to be around so many beautiful things and not find a way to be loved. The sea, like an old grandmother, would narrate stories across various genres. Comedy, tragedy, romantic, horror, fiction, non-fiction. Sometimes it would sing sonnets and the boat's imaginary feet, failing to contain themselves, would throw itself around and pretend to dance like a young woman, allowed for a night out the first time in her life. Her feet cannot contain itself, and although she is not running late, she wants to keep running instead of walking. She doesn't know what to do with all the energy she has in her body. There are so many restrictions on us that the heart with such low expectations finds happiness in very small things. The boat can only imagine. A running mind in an immobile body, it's always tied to an anchor. The storm comes like it's supposed to and shakes every root except the boat's, who only stands and looks at everything with its sad little wooden eyes. Once in a while, when the wind slaps its edges, it feels like giving up. It wants to break into 1,000 little pieces and be finally free, but the boat knows that it is not what it really wants. It is standing in the storm that it realizes that it still hopes for wonderful things to happen to it and does not want to give in. But the circumstances have always been so cruel to it that it finds rather strange to still hope. But maybe that is how it is. Especially when there is no hope, hope finds a place to breed. Like a tulsi plant which dies and nobody thinks it would live again, but it does. Small leaves start appearing in the beginning and then fills up the deserted branches. It does not care that the branches are not used to having anything around, that it has given up on better days, and that is exactly when a leaf grows. Like a dead tulsi plant, the boat too never knew it was capable of breeding anything on itself until the end of the storm. Only when its immortality was threatened did it realize the importance of life. The next morning, when it was oddly silent, people still recovering from the chaos of the last day, the boat was awake. And it was looking at the innocent sea that had only last day looked so different, so young and so rebellious. Today it had gone back to being the old grandmother and was humming the tune of some old folk song that she had picked up from an alien land. The boat too was young once. It was made with a lot of care and anticipation and gifted in marriage to a drunk fisherman. After his demise, no one would buy the boat because people thought it was unlucky, bringing death to the shore like dead fish and other creatures of the sea lying on the shore after a stormy night, outcasts of the sea. The boat stood amidst the carcasses of the dead, and its own immortality bewildered him. There was a small plant withering in homelessness inside it. It felt it had killed her too. The storm had uprooted it and dropped it here far away from anyone she had ever known. The boat did not know what to do with it, so it sheltered her from the last spells of the rain. The wind had gone off to another place, but the rain stayed back for a little longer, and the boat adjusted its position with the help of occasional winds so that the plant would not drown further in water locked in the base of the boat. The blue boat and the green plant looked oddly stuck together, and for a while the boat did not feel so empty anymore. For once, in a place where even dust refused to settle, a living thing was breathing, fighting for life, and the boat could not believe the strangeness of everything. Only the last day it had wished to break, and today things seemed to be changing. As the sun came up and the sky reflected on the day to come, the boat stood there with hope, with anticipation, with fear, and most importantly, with love. With love for the plant to get back on its feet. Had it lost her? Had it again been so close to getting what it wanted and lost it yet again? Only some alien thing called time would tell. I, sitting at the window of a hut stranded on an unfamiliar land by a storm, look out at the blue boat. The broken part of the plant is creeping out of the boat looking for some sunshine to dry its excessively wet body. The boat still looks so still, and I, who just spent 12 hours looking at it, wonder how different am I really from it. Old beyond age with vacuum inside, standing against storms alone, waiting to break into someone's arm. Only the night welcomes the day, and I am still me, the same void growing inside each day. Even the boat who could not express, could not dance, and was immobile had found solace. I moved from one place to another in search of some nebulous feelings. I had to leave in a while now, but the sky was clear. But before I was going to go, I gave the boat a last look and it winked back. I wondered how different we are really.